What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AFC East Roundtable. Y'all hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel if you haven't yet. Listen, we are about to discuss the AFC East final draft grades right here on the AFC East Roundtable. Again, punch that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. And this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. Take advantage of the bonus. It is a historic bonus of 125% on your first 3 deposits, okay? First 3 deposits, again, take advantage of that opportunity. Here's a quick word from our sponsor.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
BetUS, where the game begins, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know by now, BetUS has everything: the sports book, live betting, casino, race book, and so much more. I love getting in the casino, playing some of the blackjack. But listen, NBA playoff season is here. If you love the NBA playoffs, make sure you check out the odds that are available right now. The NFL has some of the futures that are available as well, as you can see on the site. Make sure that you check it out, ladies and gentlemen. You got the coach of the year, defensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, and so much more, all right? Listen, all the draft stuff is actually gone now at this point, but all the new odds will be coming. But again, don't forget to check out the casino as well. A lot of fun to be had there. It's not just for the gambling either. You could also play free games just in case you want to warm up, get ready. You can play for fun on BetUS, all right? Make sure you take advantage of it. Also, don't forget that BetUS also has a YouTube channel, BetUS TV. There's like 10 different BetUS TV YouTube channels of almost every single sport, ladies and gentlemen. There it is right here, BetUS TV. All the shows are listed on the site. Make sure that you check it out. Coming soon, the huddle will be listed as well. So make sure that you check that out. Just fun times, a lot of good things happening on BetUS. So make sure that you check out me, Richie, and Dan Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all right, on BetUS TV on YouTube. All right, y'all ready to dive in? Who had the best draft? Who had the best draft? I want y'all to put that in the chat right now. Dolphins, Patriots, Jets, Buffalo, who had the best draft? Now, before you give the best draft, I'm going to say this. I am a Miami Dolphin fan first and foremost, but in streams like this, it's not about that. It's about being a football fan. Why do I start this stream by saying that? I started by saying it because one thing that I noticed that fans do, whether it's Bills fans, Dolphin fans, Jets fans, Patriots fans, we only pay attention to what our team did and don't pay attention to what no one else did. If you think you had a bad draft, your counterparts may have been worse and you don't realize. If you think you had an amazing draft, your counterparts might have been even better. Might have been even better. So I'm going to give you my unbiased, honest opinion about this draft and tell you what I think about it, okay? Yeah. We're going to break it all down, okay? So first and foremost, now I've already given my draft grades for, the Miami Dolphins. I've already done that actually, but I want to be able to bring it on this show and talk about the 3 levels, okay? I did a Miami Dolphins draft grade, and I did it off of 3 components. I gave a grade for Super Bowl window, like your opportunity to win the Super Bowl. What did this draft do to your immediate opportunity this year to win a Super Bowl? And then I did one about the future. What did this do for your team and its future? And then I did one for the overall grade for the players we brought in, right? And I want to keep that in mind when we're going through these grades. So I'm going to go through the worst draft to the best draft in order by team. Okay. Now, I already know I'm going to upset a lot of people with this one. But after evaluating everybody's draft, I want this final draft grade to be off of right now on winning the division and and having a chance to go to the Super Bowl. That's what I'm ranking this off of, okay? As far as winning the division and going to a Super Bowl, I feel like the New York Jets, first and foremost, had the best draft out of everyone. The Buffalo Bills was second after that, as far as winning a Super Bowl this year. Okay. Players overall brought in, I felt like the Miami Dolphins had the best draft. The Jets had the second best. The third best was the Patriots, and the last was Buffalo. Now, the rankings that matter to me the most is the future of every team. And that's what I want to talk about right here. And we're going to go from worst to last. Okay. Not just the future, but the overall team. Excuse me. I had those backwards. So coming in last place in this draft for the overall makeup for the team to fill holes and things of that nature. Very last place, I'm going to come in with the Miami Dolphins. And I actually thought our draft was solid overall, but whenever I look at what everybody else did to impact their team, very last place is Miami Dolphins. Now, here's the interesting thing about me saying that. All of us had a good draft overall, right? I mean, it's some rounds that we may all feel a little down about, but last place, I actually had mine truly, the Miami Dolphins. Our future draft included Chop Robinson, who is going to be a great defensive end for the future, but overall, it doesn't help the team immediately, right? For the long-term success. So starting right now, because what's going to happen is the Miami Dolphins didn't feel the holes that the team had. They actually added a lot of depth. I'm a firm believer in you add depth after you fill all your positions. Now, don't get excited, Bills fans, Jets fans, and Patriots fans, about this season with that, because free agency is still open, and the Miami Dolphins are going to get some money post June 1st. And I'm hopeful, optimistic that they're going to fill those holes with that money instead of carrying it over into next year. Maybe they don't, but I'm optimistic and hopeful that they do, because if they do fill those holes with the money that we're going to get post June 1st, then all is well. We go probably to the top. But right now, until they find a real replacement for Christian Wilkins, I don't want to hear people whining out here about, oh, we brought in 7 guys in free agency. One of those will work out. They will not be Christian Wilkins. They won't be half of Christian Wilkins. Maybe they will. You never know. But conventional wisdom tell you they won't. They won't be half of Robert Hunt. They won't be half of Connor Williams, the center and the guard. So Chop Robinson is strictly the investment for the future. Patrick Paul as well, an investment for the future. This isn't a day one starter. He's a project that you want to work on that's raw right now, has all the talent in the world, but has to develop. Jalen Wright, the running back, excellent pick from a talent standpoint, but we got a loaded running back room. That doesn't help us immediately. Muhammad Kamara, defensive end, I love that pick. But again, that's about the injuries that we're dealing with, so it keeps us even. It didn't make us better. It keeps us hopefully even if he balls out. Now, the move I did like by the Dolphins was Malik Washington. He immediately comes in and be the number 3 receiver with the hopes of the future of being number 2. So that is a day one impact player for the Miami Dolphins who can come in as the number 3 receiver. I love that pick. Malik Washington. Patrick McMorris, developmental player for the future, swing safety, can do dual things. Just the athlete that we want to develop and hopefully give him a solidified role in the future. Same with Taj Washington, come in, compete at the wide receiver position, make it hard for other guys. And if he balls out, he can make the team or the practice squad. But the Miami Dolphins, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, on the back end, they, in my opinion, doesn't make me right, because I know a lot of people, they get mad about it. It doesn't make me right, but the Miami Dolphins, as far as overall draft, and filling holes and things like that, had the least best draft out of the AFC East. Now, we brought in the best talent in the AFC East overall. And some people would be like, well, if you brought in the best talent, then how do you have them last? Because we're talking about filling holes and competing right now today. Long term, nobody had a better draft than the Miami Dolphins in this division. We were the second best talent per value team in the NFL. But that's long term, which is good for the future. But the overall right now team makeup, it does not make us the best. It does not help us become the best in the division. So that's how I feel about that. Doesn't make me right. Everybody has their opinions about the draft, but I'm just keeping it a buck with y'all. This is kind of how I feel about it. Okay? Third best team in the AFC NFL draft. This is your third best team. All right. The Buffalo Bills. Not by much, okay? The Buffalo Bills, third best team. I mean, when you really look at what they did in the draft, what was their number one need? You just lost Stephon Diggs, wide receiver. What did they do? They went and got the guy that they were targeting the whole time, Keon Coleman, in the first round. Primary need, day one starter. Let's go, Keon Coleman. That's what I'm talking about as far as addressing what's going to help you continue to compete. Day one starter. What else did they did? They got rid of old man Poyer. Dolphins picked him up. That's why all of this come into play, what I'm talking about. They got rid of old man Poyer, and they very next pick in the second round, Cole Bishop, versatile safety, who can start day one from Utah. Perfect selection for them. Diggs replaced. And you don't even need Diggs. You just needed a really good receiver. Keon is that guy. And will he be Diggs? We don't know. Time will tell, but technically he ain't got to be Diggs. When they reduced the production for Stephon Diggs, they actually got better as a team. So Keon's going to come in perfect for them. Cole Bishop, versatile safety, going to come in perfect for them, replacing old man Jordan Poyer. And then what did they do? They addressed the depth and the issues they have on the interior D-line and brought in the last, in my opinion at least, the last good defensive tackle in the draft at 95 in the third round, Dwayne Carter from Duke. Immediate guys that they brought in to replace guys that they lost and needs they had. Immediate. That's the key here. Immediate. Fourth round running back Ray Davis out of Kentucky. Solid move. We know how that offense operates. They're not trying to hand the ball off as a bell cow situation. So I feel like this was a piece that they brought in with the guys they already have. And hey, let's keep it moving. Let's bring in another running back. We always want running backs. But I'm going to be honest with y'all, Buffalo. I like the pick, but at the same token, I kind of feel like y'all with running backs, Josh Allen's the guy. You just need a solid guy to hand it off. He's a solid guy. So nothing wrong with the pick. So good pick technically. But at the same token, I would have went more of a positional situation. All right. But nice pick. Ray Davis is a dog. But again, developmental piece that you want to work out. And the running backs were running around that time. So you grab one of the better ones. Okay. Then one move that I actually love, this was, I think, Buffalo's best value pick. One that I was mad because this is what I wanted Miami to do in the fifth round. Interior offensive lineman, and they got one of the guys I wanted, Cedric Van Pran. Cedric Van Pran. out of Georgia, for those who don't know. Excellent interior offensive lineman. And I feel like, draft boards may have not have said it, but I feel like that's great value. I had him a 4th rounder. He went in the 5th. He went early in the 5th. So do you see how they're addressing immediate opportunity needs to be right back where they were in the past, and they get younger at the same time? Now they get linebacker, what's his name? Edu Fuan or something like that. The rest of the guys, they got some good value, but there's some developmental players, Javon Solomon, Tylen, Daquan Hardy, I like that one, and Travis Clayton. A bunch of developmental players. Some of them got speed, some of them have talent, but it's all developmental players. We don't know what they're going to be in the league, but on the back end, that's what you're supposed to get is developmental players. So that's why I got Buffalo the second, the third best, because they address the immediate position. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I debated between them and the Jets, but because Buffalo actually targeted key positions that they needed better than any team, with the exception of the Patriots. But I just love the players they got in the positions of need, because these players can translate into a day one starter. Keon Coleman, day one starter. Cole Bishop, day one starter. Dwayne Carter, battle, but can be a starter. Ray Davis, that's where the starters kind of stop. But the interior offensive line is Cedric Van Pran. He could win a job in camp. I truly believe it. So that's where I'm at with the Buffalo Bills. Second best draft in the division goes to the New York Jets, ladies and gentlemen. The New York Jets. Now, before I start with the Jets, I want to say this. The Jets were the second best because they cheated. They didn't cheat per se. But the Jets had the least amount of holes of all 3 teams already. They actually went into the draft shopping. They went shopping in the draft. The Jets, but so what? They got, one real solidified need, which was a wide receiver in a deep wide receiver class. So the Jets enjoyed the luxury of being able to say, let's go get one of the best offensive tackles in the entire draft, if not the best offensive tackle. We'll let some people debate that. And he ain't even got to start in year 1. He can just sit back. If that ain't stunting. Now, don't get me wrong. They brought in Smith, paid him a little money, and he got to be the starter. But you know what I mean? So if that ain't stunting, first round, we're going to go ahead and give it for Shanu and let him chill. We're going to find some reps for him in plays. And if somebody get hurt, bam, he in. Let's roll. Immediately, they worked on depth. And I said to myself, well, the Jets, that's a beautiful move. But you know what? You still got a major vacancy at wide receiver. Not like the Bills, but it's still a vacancy, bro. You got a few pieces, but you need that one more receiver. If you don't do it in the second round, you done failed this draft. I mean, we like Fashanu, but if you don't address that wide receiver position in your first 2 picks, first round, second round, third round, one of those, I don't know about your draft. You can get some good players, but if you ain't got that other receiver, now you can go in free agency and get Odell or somebody like that, but it ain't long term. This is where your value comes. And sure enough, in the third round, the beginning of the third round, the very second pick of the third round, Malachi Corley from Western Kentucky. Oh, you don't want. Now you done got Aaron Rodgers, a 3-headed monster. Some could argue 4 at the receiving core. You got a backup offensive tackle because you're always crying every year about your O-line going down. So you got O-line depth. You got 4 nice weapons for Aaron Rodgers. Technically 5 when you talk about Breece Hall, because he's a catching running back out of that backfield like no other. right? You got Aaron Rodgers, 5 weapons. You got depth on the O-line, a guy or two go out, you can still keep moving. You have prepared this team to not only be loaded, but also you're prepared the team to be able to handle all of the issues you've had in the last 2-3 years. Running back got hurt. That's okay, because you got Braylon Allen now out of Wisconsin. And Richie wanted him. That was one of the guys Richie was targeting. That was one of the guys Richie, that's who we want. And let's back up for a second. Let's not forget, Malachi Corley got a nickname, Yak King. Put that ball in his hand, he picking up a whole bunch more. I'm actually shocked Miami didn't target him, because that's what we're about. Yak, putting it in the playmakers' hands and them doing something with it. And then on the back end, they did a low-key move that was genius. And every time we mocked with Richie, I was trying to sabotage this move every time, and they were able to get it done. They bring in Jordan Travis, a change of pace quarterback, just in case something happened to Aaron Rodgers. You don't know what you're going to get. The athleticism alone can help carry the team. You go get your developmental quarterback in Jordan Travis out of Florida State, dynamic weapon, raw, got a lot of things that he needs to work on as a passer, but excuse me, that is a beautiful pick in the 5th round. That's where you get your guy, your developmental quarterback. And he gets to sit behind Aaron Rodgers, having wheels and athleticism, escapability. It's like the rich version of Zach Wilson's escapability, but he's a playmaker though, you know? Again, raw, still got some work as a passer, but that's the type of guy you get in the 5th round to develop. And now he get to chill for 2 years and maybe learn from Aaron Rodgers, and you never know what you have out of that. Maybe Lamar Jackson. He ain't Lamar, but come on, the intangibles? Am I tripping? Does he not have those intangibles? Now, he coming fresh off that injury, but if he get back to form, that's what's up. And on the back end, they signed a few nice little players, but again, all development. Isaiah Davis, Quantez, and Jalen Key. Nice little pieces, but development. We don't know how they're going to work out in this league. I know how it is on the back end. So I got Jets as the second best draft. Second best draft in this division, man. They already were ready to win. Then they locked it down with depth. And then on the back end, they got the projects. They hit all 3 phases. And that's what you're supposed to do. They hit all 3 phases, man. And I don't like it. All right, y'all. Number one draft. Shout out to the homie King Cat. He said Keon Coleman will be a bust. Woo! Ray Davis is a dog. I wasn't happy about that pick. Why didn't y'all get one of the top centers, TD? Maybe I'm wrong. Isn't that a need? Lastly, out if all picks in our division rank the best 3 picks. That'd be tough, but I'll try. Let me finish the Patriots, and then I'll try to rank the best 3 picks in the division. I'll try to rank the best 3. That's interesting. All right, so Patriots had the best draft out of us all. Again, this is cheating too, just like the Jets were cheating because they didn't really need much, and now they got to go luxury shopping. But the Patriots cheated too because they needed everything, and it's hard to go wrong. But they did their thing. They did their thing at the end of the day. Shout out to Jet It Out, all my Jets people. Let's effing go. Oh, man. We also got a future 3rd rounder for a 4th. I remember that. You did pick up a 3rd rounder next year for a 4th. That was pretty dope. All right. Let's do it. All right. TD wearing his objective hat today. Yeah. Unless some fans be like, oh, this idiot. You'll never make everybody happy. All right. But here we go. This is why I feel like the Patriots had the best draft out of us all. And not because they got the best talent. See, let's make sure we differentiate through this right now. I'm not saying they got the best talent, but for their team, they made the biggest gains. Now, they also had some of the best premier picks. I mean, when you think about it, they had 4 picks in the first 103. 5 picks in the first 110. They got 5 of the best 110 players in the draft. 5 of them. 3 in the top 70. So, I mean, I get it. So they get their quarterback, and Drake May is who they wanted, and they got who they wanted. A lot of people say he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. We never know, but you got your guy. You need a quarterback. You got the third best quarterback from a prospect standpoint in the draft. And now he gets to compete to be the best in his class or one of the best in the NFL. Mission accomplished. You couldn't go wrong with the top 3 or 4. Mission accomplished. Biggest need of any team. They filled it. Okay? And what do they do on the back end of that? Because they never did it with Mac Jones, got them real solidified weapons. They go get Jalen Polk out of Washington. If y'all know who Jalen Polk is, you done lost your mind. He's one of the best receivers coming out of this draft. But again, this draft was so loaded with receivers. So loaded. The Dolphins got Malik Washington late. So loaded. But they get a top flight guy. They get a guy that can help Drake May in his transition in the NFL right away. And then what do? They invest in Drake May again by starting out with an offensive tackle at 68. Caden Wallace out of Penn State. Very good prospect. Very good prospect. I'm not a fan of offensive tackles any later than, the first round, to be honest with you. But very good prospect as a developmental piece that can come in and give some solid reps early. Lil Raw gonna make some mistakes, but he can get better and better. And then you go interior offensive line with Layden Robinson, Texas A&M. I love that pick. He was on my board for a late. Now I don't know if some would consider it a reach, but he was on my board for a mid-round pick for the interior offensive line. Not very high, but good player. So you invest 2 offensive linemen, a receiver, and you got your quarterback, all offense. And what do they do in round 4? They get one of the last of the good wide receivers. There was a few more, but one of them, Javon Baker, man, from UCF. Do y'all see their first 5 picks was offense? The Patriots always had a culture of solid defense. They give Buffalo fits. They give the Jets fits. They even give us Dolphins fits with all this talent. We beat the Patriots twice, but we ain't going to sit here and act like we dropped 40 on them at will, 30 on them at will. They always play us tough. And then in the third quarter, we make that one big play that matters the most that gets us 2 possessions up because we be trading with them, whether it's a field goal, touchdown, or a field goal. And by halftime, the score be something like 13-7, Dolphins up. But by the end of the third quarter, it'd be 23-14. But it's 2 possessions now. And that's how we've been winning. In the fourth quarter, their offense been so bad, their only issue against the Dolphins has been offense. But their first 5 picks in the top 110 is all offense, 2 wide receivers, 2 O-linemen, and a quarterback. Perfect. That's how you change from being in a dumpster to, hey, I still might be 4th, maybe even 3rd if one of y'all trip, but I'm giving you fits. I'm giving y'all fits now. Instead of going 1-5 or 2-4 in the division, you might look up and I squeak out 3-3. I give all y'all a loss, or I give one of y'all 2. You never know. You never know. So the Patriots, man, I like what they did there on the back end. Again, a lot of developmental pieces, but they go cornerback, Marcellus Dial, but look how they always coach up these corners. And then Joe Milton as an insurance policy on the back end behind Drake May, 2 developmental guys. Drake May take the reins, and they already said he will have an open battle with Jacoby. If he winning and he ready, let's go Drake May. They've made it clear. They didn't say it's Jacoby's job. They just came out and said Drake May will have an open competition in camp with Jacoby Brissett, and if he takes his job, he got the job. It's his to have. So you might see Drake May starting this year. You might see Drake May start. But Joe Milton coming in, being a backup, that ain't bad. I got to go look at Jacoby Brissett contract and see if he got any guarantees, because you might look up, and if he ain't got a lot of guarantees, there's a chance they might move on from Brissett at camp. He might get cut. If Drake May balling, they might kick the can and be like, Joe Milton, hey, you the backup. Or they'll keep Brissett and make Milton the third emergency quarterback, which means he'll be on the roster anyway. But yeah, man, if Drake May is balling, and he's that dude and they love what they see, why not go ahead and have Joe Milton getting those backup reps instead of being just a scout team third emergency quarterback? Something to think about. Then they get tight end Jaheim Bell on the back end. We don't know what that's going to turn out to be. But again, you know their history with tight ends. We'll see. Okay. So I think the Patriots had the best draft, because if you think about it, I feel like the culture over there, even with or without Bill Belichick, because it's still the staff and the front office and a lot of people from that regime, I feel like they're going to always have that defensive identity. So what do? They went and address the offense. Straight up offense, 2 quarterbacks, 2 interior offensive linemen, and 2 wide receivers. And with good picks, first through fourth round, except the second quarterback. So don't be surprised if the Patriots not competing for a Super Bowl, not competing for the playoffs, but competing this year and causing us some trouble. All 3 of the other teams, the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins, in our own division. Do not be surprised. They will make it harder this year. All ringing on Drake May. But if that kid is that kid and he that dude, oh no, they fighting for the division. I don't care what nobody say. If Drake May is that dude, I don't see any reason why the New England Patriots can't have a Houston Texans type season from last year. The same way that they're set up is the same way the Houston Texans were set up. Whole bunch of no names until people realize, oh, that's who that is. Tank Dell, who hope he's doing fine, was involved in the shooting today, but Jalen Pope. So we'll see. That's my order, ladies and gentlemen. Now I want to go to what King Cat asked, the best 3 players in the entire draft in order. Let me see. I think the best player in the division in our entire draft was Fashanu. He is the best player in our division in this draft. And that's the New York Jets offensive tackle, Fashanu. He is the best player. Drake May, he's up there, but I'm not going to let the quarterback bias skew me. I have more confidence that they got their left tackle of the future than New England got their quarterback of the future. I got to wait to see Drake May. Okay. So that's the number 1. Number 2. Number 2. Let me make sure I got this question right. I'm wrong. Lastly, out of all picks in our division, rank the best 3 picks. The picks. The tackle is the best player, but I'll give it the number 3 best pick. Okay. Give me a second. I want to go check one player real quick. Number 2 best pick that I liked in this draft. A lot of people are not going to agree with this one, but I think the safety Cole Bishop for Buffalo, number 2. The number 3, the pick that I love, that a lot of people probably going to be like, are you kidding me? That don't make no sense. Jalen Wright, Miami's running back. I want to go Malik Washington, but that ain't it. He's going to be great, but Jalen Wright, remember this a year or 2 from now. Jalen Wright, running back, Miami, who we traded up for in the 4th round. Jalen Wright. Remember I said that, okay? Raheem Mostert will be gone next year to be A-Chain and Wright. Wright going to be that dude in this league. And I think he's going to be better than A-Chain because he got the size. He a big body guy. But with what he does and his speed and his explosiveness, watch out for it. And I know some people like, bro, them ain't the best picks. Those are mine. He asked me. Those are mine. Jalen Wright, remember I said that 2 years from now. Okay. And again, these ain't the best players that was drafted, but the best picks. I respect what the Jets did with that offensive tackle pick for Shano. And Cole Bishop, low key. I think we're gonna be like, you know how Bill's secondary always mess with the Dolphins. I think Cole Bishop gonna be one of them household names. We'd be like, man, that boy Cole Bishop back there, they doing their thing in this division. And Jalen Wright, maybe not immediately because of the depth chart, but remember in 2 years how I said that might be the best pick out of everybody. Could be totally wrong, but I'm just giving those to you. Okay. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Those are your draft grades for the AFC East Roundtable, the AFC East final grades. Y'all let me know what you think in the chat. This wasn't about being biased. This wasn't about hating on anyone, loving on anyone more than anybody else. And I already know Dolphin fans gonna be mad at me as usual because I'm being honest. My truth. It doesn't make me right. But I just feel like when you're talking AFC East final draft grades and I'm on screen by myself, I try to have 1,000% authentic content of what I truly believe. When I'm in front of the rest of the division, I hate them. Not them per se, but I hate y'all other teams. So I'm going to rep my team when everybody else on. But these streams, when I'm solo, I'm always tell y'all exactly what it is because I'm up here representing all four of us. So that's what I believe. And again, one more note, I got to keep giving a little shout out to the Buffalo Bills. The Cedric Van Pran one, I can't wait to see how that turns out. That 5th round pick, Cedric Van Pran, I think he can develop into an NFL starter that can be a real nice piece for y'all long-term out of Georgia. So we'll see. You know, I might be wrong about every single thing I said. It could be all those players I didn't mention in the 6th, 7th round that might be the guys, but time will tell. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Make sure that you hit that like button on your way out of here. Listen, this is the AFC East Roundtable signing out. Good job by all 4 teams in the division, but it's wartime. Let's see who ends up winning this year. That's all that matters, baby. Fins up no matter what. Super Bowl. Peace.